Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith. Today I'm talking about Cry Wolf by Alan B. Chronister. And this is from Zebra. This is part of my spooktacular reading voted on by 5 or 6 or 7 people. And this book is takes place in Larkspur, Pennsylvania. This young couple has moved into town, but there's something going on. There's something lurking in the woods, and there's people dying. It's called Cry Wolf. Look at that cover. You know what I'm getting at. All right, for the too long didn't watch folks, bear with me for a moment. I've talked about this before on Goodreads. Their rating system is 1 star, I didn't like it. 2 stars, it was okay. 3 stars, I liked it. 4 stars, I really liked it. 5 stars, I loved it. Now, to me, that is different than 1 star, it was bad. 2 stars, it was okay. That's the only one I couldn't come up with, like, something different. 3 stars, it was good. 4 stars, it was really good. And 5 stars, it was great. Because to me, good and bad are different than I didn't like it, or I liked it, I didn't like it. Because you can like things that are bad. So, for the too long didn't watch, I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. That's not to say that it is a good book. It is insane. Normally, I try to avoid talking about I don't know, the way the book itself is presented, typos and things like that. There are a lot of typos, missing words, wrong words, things like that. And I bring it up because at the beginning of one of the chapters, there is part of a sentence that's repeated, like in the middle of a different sentence, and I think multiple sentences that are missing. I don't know how much time I spent, 5 minutes, trying to figure out what the hell it was trying to say. So there's that. But this, and the cover, much like so many of the best covers back in the day, nothing to do with this story. There is no girl child with a teddy bear who's half wolf and half human. But this book is so over the top, so ridiculous, that I was incredibly entertained. To me, this is the so bad it's good of books. It's that bad movie that you absolutely love, that you have a great time with because it's so bad. So we have our young couple, Rudy Varden, Evangeline Sangelis. She writes children's books. He's an artist who's illustrated her books. They've moved to Larkspur, Pennsylvania from the city of New York, and they meet. So we're sort of introduced to the town through them. We meet a bunch of the people in the town, and we know right off the bat who the werewolf is. But there is a cold open that's just crazy, and then so the werewolf lore, I suppose it's from something I looked at online, it is lore that's out there, but it's not the most prevalent, at least to me. Like where the werewolf actually came from, and some other things. I don't want to get spoilery. But so that was interesting. I liked that this wasn't your typical werewolf type of thing. I liked the agenda, I guess, of the werewolf. And I liked so much of the over the top stuff. There's a couple scenes that were so crazy, so potentially offensive to some people, or perhaps triggering to some people, that I absolutely loved them. Not going to go into what they were, but they involved werewolves and some of the crazy things they were doing. Um, so yeah, it's just wild. It's not well written. It's not horribly. It's not unreadable, except for that one beginning of the chapter that I have no idea what the hell is missing from it. It just starts with one word that I'm not sure is the first word of a sentence. It might be the last word of the sentence. And then it has, and then it starts in the middle of a sentence. And then the next sentence repeats part of the previous sentence. So, yeah, I have no idea what that part's supposed to mean. But other than that, it's not horribly written. I think some of, if not a lot of, the dialogue doesn't flow naturally. Some of it does, some of it doesn't. I'm always bothered when people say somebody's name over and over and over again in a conversation. Hey Ben, could you hand me the salt? Thanks, Ben. Oh, by the way, Ben, would you like some more coffee? I can get it for you, Ben. To me, maybe it's because I don't talk to people that much. To me, it just doesn't ring true. So again, it's that movie that's so bad you can't help but love it. Young couple moves into town, mysterious deaths, werewolves. What's going on? Not going to give it all away. Cry Wolf by Alan B. Chronister. And I Googled. I could not find anything about Alan P. Chronister. I couldn't find another book. I couldn't find any type of information with a cursory Google search. But if you're the type of person like me who enjoys a bad movie and wants to read just a crazy werewolf story, I say get this, or try to find it. For me, 4 out of 5. I would not give it 4 out of 5 if 4 stars meant it's really good, because it's not really good. But on Goodreads, and that's what I'm going by, it means I really liked it. And yes, I really liked it. So 4 out of 5 stars, as long as we're clear on that. I'm trying to be very, very clear. Cry Wolf, Alan B. Chronister, 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. It's not a well-written book. It's not a masterpiece by any means. It doesn't even come close, but it's pure entertainment. So there you go. And now, recommendations. Well, I'm not going to recommend poorly written books that I found entertaining. I'm going to go the werewolf angle. So, right off the bat, I'm looking over here. Animals by John Skip and Craig Spector. Their werewolf novel. It's been a long time since I read it. I need to reread it again. It's possibly their only book that I haven't read more than once. I think I said that correctly. But it's a wild werewolf book. Thor by Wayne Smith, I think. Thanks to Summer Cannon for this one. Thor, really, it's a werewolf book where the majority of the story is through the eyes of a family dog named Thor. You can see I've reviewed the book, and Summer Cannon and I talk about it in an episode of My Favorite Horror with The Ultimate Werewolf. There was a time in the early aughts where a publisher was putting out these books called The Ultimate Dracula, The Ultimate Werewolf, The Ultimate Frankenstein. They were anthologies that were vampires, Frankensteinies, and werewolves. So it's a nice werewolf anthology. If you can find a copy, I don't have it anymore. I would love to find copies of all three of those. And I think there were some others in the series. But great anthology of werewolf stories. Excuse me. So there's just a few recommendations for other werewolf books for you to look for. There's plenty. And I mean, I could go Cycle of the Werewolf by Stephen King. That I would just recommend for the Bernie Wrightson illustrations. Plus, it's a cool story, but Bernie Wrightson, one of my favorite artists. There's all sorts of werewolf stories out there. I'm just naming a few. All right. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here at the Low Budget Review Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. All the usual YouTube stuff. If you'd care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronan5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, fuzzy animals, is Eric Smith 5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. On Blue Sky, where I almost never post, but I'm there. It's @EL Smith. That's all I have for you. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith, and until next time, read more books.